All right. Amazing. I did want to say first and foremost, I appreciate you guys for spending time on your busy Mondays. Many of you, if not all of you, are running businesses and I understand you have thousands of things to do on your task lists and in your life for your personal health, for your friends, your family. The holiday seasons are coming up. This is a tough time to get on a call. And it means the world that you can spend an hour of your night on a Monday night where I know it's super busy, going into a super busy week, to spend time to learn something new. And that's only going to benefit exactly what it is you're trying to do, not just this week, not just the rest of this year, but as you go into 2026 and beyond, to grow not only your business, but your life, your mind, your body, your business, all collectively. And Lacey and I are thrilled to take you through this presentation. And I'm going to be honest, we're going to keep it real. This is not, you're like, I'm this amazing guru and you have to listen to everything I say. I want you guys to take notes. I want you guys to ask questions. I want you to raise your hand. I want to have a conversation. If you know me at all, and many of you do, I'm very passionate about you as an individual. And while I might say something that resonates with part of the group, there's something that you're like, I got to lean into that a little bit more. So we are going to save questions for the end, but if it's on the topic and we ask you guys to participate, please don't hesitate to participate. All right, let's get into it. I'm on these calls every day. My hand's shaking. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are awesome. I'm pumped that we're here. All right. So welcome to our inaugural first ever MPFC aligned workshop, specifically for entrepreneurs or those who have that entrepreneurial spirit where they want to grow mentally, physically, and financially. We're going to help you guys stop starting over, help you guys stop feeling chaotic, stressed, overextended, burnt out, and start living aligned for your mind, your body, and your bank. We're going to get into this thing. But before we do, I want to share some quick facts with you because this isn't all about what we feel and what we've been through. There are some very real facts out there. We're going to drop them on you right now. So this is just from 2024. The Founders Report reported in 2024 that mental health issues such as anxiety, stress, and burnout were at 87% of the poll that they took. And then in a different report in 2024, they reported that 46% of entrepreneurs experience high mental stress. Okay. And then they also reported in that same study that 50.2 experienced anxiety. Now, by show of hands, yes or no, thumbs up, thumbs down, you guys experiencing any stress, anxiety in your work life? All right. Okay. In your mental life, in your physical life. Okay. Yeah. We're all in this together. Look, first and foremost, pause, time out. You're not alone. Anybody ever feel like they're alone on their journey? Okay. Whether you're an online coach or you do something in person or selling a product or you're working with clients, it could be very lonely staring at a computer screen throughout the course of the day. And that can raise stress. And then that affects your head mentally. So I want you guys to know that in this room, there's 20 something people on this call, 60 something people signed up for this call. I know it's a Monday night and many people are going to come and listen to the replay tomorrow, but you're not alone in this, myself included. And you're going to find out more about that soon. Another report said that 74% mental health is impacted when dealing with clients. Okay. Does anybody deal with other people in their business? Can that be super stressful? Can their stress lean onto you? So mentally that when you leave that workspace, you carry that into your personal life and your health life with your fitness, your food, your family. Yeah, it can. And then another report here, 34.4% of entrepreneurs report experiencing burnout directly relates to their business, which you guys just agreed to. Physically, okay, Forbes reported that 73% of all entrepreneurs in this study believe that health has suffered since launching their business. Now, one way, shape, or form, maybe it's not forever, but maybe it was a season. Have you guys ever suffered your health in your health realm of your world after you started your business? Okay. Perhaps some of you, maybe all of you fitness coaches on here haven't, but I'm a fitness coach and I suffer with my health since starting my business. And then Stellar Bank reported that 57% of small business owners work 6+ days a week, averaging 52 hours a week. Who's above that? Raise your hand. Okay. Or very close. So chronic stress and irregular schedules, lower sleep quality, and increased burnout risk among entrepreneurs. That was another report done in 2025. And then in 2023, PMC, National Library of Medicine, reported that entrepreneurs report limited time for exercise and high workloads negatively affecting their quality of life. Finally, in the financial realm of some facts and reporting, QuickBooks did a couple of studies, but the one that we pulled said that 42% of small business owners had limited or no financial literacy when starting their business. Is anybody overwhelmed by the financial side of their business? And I just sat on a call today with my accountant for 90 minutes, going line by line through every single thing that I did this year. And I still don't know half of the stuff that he's talking about. So while I've gotten better, there's room for improvement to lower stress financially as well. Stellar Bank reported that 43% of small business owners say cash flow is a recurring problem. Anybody go through that with their business? Would consistency be helpful in their business with cash flow? I think so. And then Stellar Bank also reported that 74% say that their finances haven't improved in the last year. Now, show of hands, yes or no, or thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. As your business, is it very close to where it was 12 months ago? Or yes or no? Okay. All right. Great. Would you like it to be in a better place than it was 12 months ago? I think everybody can put their thumbs up as well for that. And that's what we want to help you guys do here. So when we go into the next part, we believe that we understand you guys are probably here for one of these reasons. And odds are that you may have tried different strategies, different coaches, different frameworks, and all these new offers, regardless of what you're absorbing information wise, are leaving you scattered. Okay. Despite all the mindset work, podcasts, the courses, the clarity disappears at any given time, at a moment's notice, and when real life hits. And feel like your business is running on fumes from time to time or for extended periods of time, right? Thinking that you actually understand what all of these online social media gurus are leaving you to believe with their PDFs and their lead magnets and their $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 coaching, right? You always start strong. You get super excited. And then does anyone on this call struggle to maintain momentum? Yes. Okay. I think I did Lacey's slot.
That's all right. I'm also the queen of buying all of the PDFs. That was me too. So if anyone has 100 PDFs or mini courses they've purchased from other people that they literally never looked through because they were trying to figure out how to run their business from a PDF, I've been there.
So we also understand that you are smart, driven, self-aware. Subconsciously you live in a state of reactivity. And what I mean by that, and that's not a negative thing. And I was just talking to a client today, Jess, who's on the call, who's going through a period in her life where she's being forced to slow down. And I think that we, as entrepreneurs, those who are driven and really want to succeed, find that if we don't slow down, we feel like we're losing. So we get off on that state of how much more can I do? And how much more can I add to my list? And how many more frameworks can I run? And how can I prepare as best as possible for Black Friday and then Cyber Monday and then Christmas and then New Year's or whatever it is that we're looking to do. Yeah. You're wearing that burnout badge of honor. I understand that's where you're living and you found success there. And you wouldn't be here if you didn't want to find a little bit more alignment in your day to day. We know that you are capable. You're just missing the right structure and feedback loop and support to make this a little bit more clear along the way. So we know this. You don't drive in discipline. You lack alignment. You lack a system that makes your effort finally work in harmony with your mind, your body, and your business. Quick question though. How many months or years have gone by and you still feel stuck in the same place with your business? Throw a number in the chat. 6 months or years, either way, a long time. 2 people feel stuck. That's it. There we go.
You guys can be honest and vulnerable. We're not taking notes or writing it down. And if you're saying you haven't felt stuck, and remember, we're talking about mental, physical, and financial health here too. So it doesn't just have to be, I've been great in my physical health forever, but not one or the other. We're just talking anything that's hitting you. Love that.
I just want to say,
but Hayden, you did say spiritual health. So keep it in mind that we don't just mean client generation and revenue generation. We're talking about the holistic picture of running a successful business that aligns with your life.
And I want to say it's okay to feel like you're in a really good place too. You don't have to be here and be in a place where you're feeling stuck. That's a really powerful thing that you shared with the group, that you can have that feeling. Has anybody heard of this before? Analysis by paralysis? Yes. And do we understand that when we accumulate information, which information is pretty hard to get these days, right? No one here has heard of ChatGPT. So I can't imagine you guys have all the information you ever wanted at your fingertips on any topic regarding any situation ever. Anybody feel like with all this information that we get on social media and ChatGPT, Google, the news, that you guys start overthinking things in your life, mentally, physically, financially? I got a lot of slow head nods there. Okay. And then you end up second guessing yourself. So on one side of the equation, we have analysis by paralysis, which keeps us stuck or frozen, which a lot of you are admitted to one place in your life that you feel that you're stuck for an extended period of time. On the other half, we have action contrast. Have you guys ever heard of this term before? Yes or no? 100,000%, Kirsten says. So action contrast is start soon, do it messy. Build the plane while flying it. Do not aim for perfection. Progress over time. Learn by doing things and evaluate often. And when I found this, and I added this slide a little bit later as I built out this presentation earlier, I came across a social media post. So I got more information, and I actually decided to use that information because I thought the way this person told the story was something we can all resonate with. And he said that if you were to study how to be a surgeon for 30 years, and on the first day of the 31st year, someone handed you a scalpel and said, go perform the most simple of surgeries, you would have no idea how to do it, and you would fail. Because if all you did was watch videos and read books and learn about surgery, but you didn't go and actually apply it, you do not get better at the thing. But if you go to school and you learn and you apply what you learned, and then you learn something else, and then you apply what you learned, and then you learn another thing, and then you apply what you learned, over time, you will become a master surgeon, and people will come to you so you can then help them. I had another client. Side note, I've had 3 clients end up in the ER in the last 3 weeks. None of them know each other for all different reasons. But this one client said that, or it was actually, this client was Jess. I get them confused. So I have 3 of them that are in the ER. But she was like, the surgeon came to me and said that I might have to do a slightly different procedure due to the situation, but I've had 20,000 surgeries or hours of surgery. I don't recall exactly what it was. And I think we're going to be okay. In that 20,000, whether it be hours or actual surgeries that this person has done over however many years, allows them to be a master at their craft for this one particular situation, which will give Jess, the client, the utmost confidence in going in and came out a successful surgery. Okay. So I need you guys to understand by the end of this call, you're going to be able to know what you need to prioritize for you as an individual, right? According to where you are in your life, according to our aligned ethos, which is what we're going to take you through. And from that, you will have a clear path to grow mind, body, and bank. Does that sound good? Do we want that? Amazing. So who the fuck are we? I curse a lot. Sorry, Mom. Mom's on the call. I physically, mentally, and financially have been through a lot, and we'll tell more about our story and how we got to this point in a second. But in a former life, about 18 years ago, I weighed 300 pounds. I wore size 40-inch pants. After finding my way towards health and then losing my father way too young, I leaned into health even more and found a passion for CrossFit and helped build New York City's largest CrossFit gyms over the span of 5 years. We grew 6 locations in 5 years. Then after COVID hit, I left and decided to go out on my own and build a business from scratch, and grew that over the course of 2.5 years into $1 million business with a team of 30 people and helping 500 plus clients month over month with a community of over 3,000 people. Still, in the process of doing that, I did not love what I was doing at the end of the day. And that led to me having a panic attack and burning down the business in its entirety. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't what I wanted to do from the start. And I decided to find out who I was. And in the process of trying to find out who I was, before I could clearly make that decision, I put on another 40 pounds, which many of you have probably seen on my social media. And a year ago, when I was 40 pounds heavier, I happened to tear my bicep at the same time. And I felt like my world was falling apart. But over the last 18 to 24 months, I started to recover by slowing down, realigning with who it is that I want to be at the end of the day, and finding my purpose in this life so that everything that I do, mentally, physically, and financially, allows me to move forward. So I hope that gives you guys a little sense of who I am and why I'm here and why we're presenting this to you tonight. And babe, I'm going to let you tell
You
you.
want to do mine too? You're doing such a great job.
I don't know if I can do you justice. You tell, and your story is one for the ages.
For those of you that are on here that I personally invited, I've also been sharing my story on social media for a while. So most of my history and the evolution of my career as an entrepreneur. But it's quite funny that Kevin and I both, our paths started to entrepreneurship at the same time. They started during COVID. And he left the fitness and the gym industry. And I was working for a friend as an employee of her fitness business. And 2021, I was in a toxic relationship. I asked for a divorce. Shortly after that, my boss then fired me. I moved in with my grandma. I no longer had even a bank account in my name, no income. And for someone who has been very proud of myself for being very independent and self-sufficient since I was a teenager, that was really a wake-up call for me on what direction I wanted to go with my life. So I started my business. I landed in the finance industry and became a financial advisor and a licensed insurance agent. I helped hundreds of families through the process. And while my business wasn't as big on paper as Kevin's, I was very proud of the fact that I was a single woman operation who scaled my business to multiple six figures, all in my pocket with no paid for lead generation. It was all through organic social media connection. I had built a really fantastic, really caring, kind, compassionate community of people through Instagram specifically. Most of those people are on this call right now that have been watching that. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. 2.5 years, about 3 years into my finance business, after multiple failed places to land at different firms and IMOs with toxic leadership, I realized that I didn't want to be in the finance industry at all. What I had been doing through the finance process, specifically my business was, I had a couple of male clients and couple clients, but my business was rooted in the financial empowerment of women specifically. What I was realizing was a lot of the issues that my clients were facing or problems that they needed help with were related to their mental health, something that I had also been passionate about for a long time. So I decided to go into a sector of neuro coaching, neuroscience, neurological health. And that's what I've been doing for the last 18 months, building my business in that way. Through the process, I also gained some weight. So Gavin and I had a rough 2024, so late 2023. We got our shit together. And now we are creating a sustainable success procedure to share with you guys that comes without self-sacrifice in our mental and our physical health.
So this is a little bit about us and the stories along the way. How did this come to be? How did we create MPFC? And you guys have seen us, it stands for, we've said it a ton of times already, Mental, Physical, Financial Collective. This is for a group of individuals. This is not a one-on-one process. This is the greater good of entrepreneurship to help people find their identity with that brain-body connection so they can take action with their business and actually feel like they're moving forward on all cylinders. On my half, as you see in the photos, I've had a great physical transformation. I've had several hundred clients come to many different events that I'd run in the past, but still suffering from burnout and overextending myself and not being aligned in what I was doing. And I knew that I was moving in a direction that I didn't love. Thankfully, I had Lacey by my side, so I didn't have to go through that alone. And in the process, I almost quit coaching completely, specifically fitness and nutrition coaching. And in the process, I started writing, and I wrote and released a book last year, which a couple hundred people bought, and I'm really proud of that. However, in doing so, I'm building clients and loving the clients and appreciating the clients I get to work with now, still currently. I actually did a lot of research with entrepreneurs and was able to get in the room with entrepreneurs and have conversations with them and find out or start to just configure, because that's what I do. I don't know if you guys know much about human design, but I'm a projector and I love being invited into conversations. And with that, I like to organize and arrange thoughts and help people see clearly the path that they want to walk forward. And in doing so, I was able to really be drawn to and connect with entrepreneurs who were leaving their mental health behind, or struggling with their physical health, or being really confused about what direction to go with their financial health. And one day, and I've been trying to get Lacey to do this for the last 2-3 years. I'm like, what can we do together? Isn't it awesome that we get to do this together? Come on, give it up for Lacey. She finally caved and said, let's do this thing together.
I was experiencing a little scarcity mindset of letting him into my world together when it related to business. So if you've ever been there with a partner in business or a significant other, you're not alone.
But with that in mind, one day it just clicked and I said, why don't we take your financial background, your neurocoach background, mix that with my systems background, my business acumen, and my health and fitness coaching to create not a one-on-one coaching structure, because that would be way too confusing to post about on social media, right? But create a collective of people so they can come together where they can work on all of these things at their own pace to create a system for their lives moving forward with other people supporting them along the way. And she said yes, right? Like, now I've got her to say yes twice, because we're getting married next year. So that's the end of the day. We're really, really excited about this. Did you want to touch on anything on this page, babe?
Yeah, I just wanted to make a point about how the purpose for this, creating this collective, is not necessarily because we just wanted to come up with another business. And those of you that are entrepreneurs understand that deeply. Once you create your first business, you can never imagine yourself being an employee ever again. So you're trying to always make sure that you are doing something that moves the ball forward in entrepreneurship. But the reality of creating the NPFC is just that we could not find a place to land that was like this. There was either business coaching that was all about hacking and systems and education, but no real true focusing on the human creating the business, and specifically the human inside the business. And what I mean by that is treating you like numbers and KPIs and checking off boxes, and not focusing enough on who you are at a cellular level, your background, your history, your psychology, the things that are important to you, your specific magnetic messaging that ensures that you have an overflow of clients at all times. Those things are very important to us. And we also believe in a space, and maybe this is just me being a woman that came from finance, but I was kicking most of the guys' asses and I never felt like an equal to my leadership. So it was very important to me that we create a place where, although we say we are facilitating and guiding you, that you feel admired and respected and empowered every step of the way.
100%. I agree. And it's really easy to talk about us, but this next slide is just showing you guys that there are people out there that are resonating with what we've been doing.
People do like us. We're not making it up.
Yeah, people do like us. But the idea is that we're having conversations with intention to understand what it is that you're going through. And every time we get a message, a voice memo, a video, we let that sink in and sit with that, because we're really grateful to have people like you in our lives that are feeling capable of opening up and sharing what it is that you're going through, whether it be as a client or someone that we're just interacting with on social media. You guys have affected us to create this, and we're really thankful that you're here. So I just wanted to say that everything in all the conversations do not go unnoticed.
Wait, I just realized that one long message that you put down in the corner said, "Hey, Kevin." I wonder if they were talk to texting.
Yeah, it worked.
Like how it autocorrects Kevin to Kevin.
Amanda? We believe that when you align all three, mind, body, bank, mental, physical, financial, you stop chasing results and you start holding on to them. It's not about motivation or grind or do more. That's not who we are, right? We're all about doing the work, but I'm never going to be the person to tell you to, and there's a fine line between pushing to excel and overextending yourself to allow yourself to fail in a way where you could have actually went down the path that allowed you to get to the destination with a little bit more ease. It's about the structure that helps you feel authentic and good to exist in. So how are we going to do this, gang? How are we going to make it happen? We created this thing. And then for us, like what we did, and this is what we explained before, we had to wake up, we had to be introspective, we had to find the shift from what we were doing, and then integrate that both or all three, mind, body, financially for our businesses. But
Can't ever have enough shirtless photos.
I'm sorry. No, I'm not. So we've created the aligned ethos, right? And the 7-phase partner path that makes success sustainable and repeatable. And this is broken down into 3 phases: the foundations phase, the build phase, and the expand phase. So you start with awareness. All right. going into leading yourself and integration. We will explain all of these in detail in just a moment. You move to the growth phase when you start to build, and then you nurture that growth. Because I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, I'm growing, I'm doing really well. And you're like, what else can I do? Let me go move on to the next thing. If and when we get to this growth phase, and then you hold on to that and nurture it and treat it like a plant that you're growing, and you allow that thing to grow sustainably over time. Now, when you go move to the expand phase, you can look back, evaluate what has happened, what went well, what didn't go well, and then develop and find new direction to come back to a new level of awareness and allow this flywheel to repeat itself. Okay. So we're going to get into it, and Lacey's going to take it away with this ALI foundations phase.
Real quick, when you said nurture like a plant, it made me think of the love fern from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Has anybody seen that? Which is like, you killed her, love. That's what it made me think of. I've done that to my business before. Okay. The first section of the aligned method is ALI, and you guys will giggle at the end because it goes GN and then ED. And my brain just automatically goes to erectile dysfunction. So you'll never forget the ED part when you get there. That's not what it stands for, but that's the acronym it makes me think of. Okay. So alignment starts with you. And this is where my little neuro coach heart gets very excited, because this is my favorite phase whenever I'm working with my clients in general. And the goal of the ALI, awareness, leading yourself, and integration phase of the aligned method, the goal is to build internal safety, a rhythm that feels correct for your life, for your business, where you're going, and clarity so that your success becomes sustainable, that it is sustained by you, sustained by what you're doing, and not dependent on everything lining up perfectly like a puzzle. You put it together. Most entrepreneurs are really trying to scale before they stabilize. So I don't know if you guys can, I'll use a personal example really quick, but my business scaled really quickly in the middle of 2023. And I was just like, shit, I have a calendar that's all over the place. I don't have a personal assistant. I have money coming in. What am I supposed to do with all of this money? Which sounds like such a great problem to have. But when you don't have any stabilization and you're trying to scale, you're just like, okay, now the wheels are going to fall off if I don't come up with a solution. And then that slows down your progress. So stabilization before scaling is incredibly important. You can go to the next slide, babe. So the awareness phase. And this is a lot of where, like Hayden was saying earlier, spiritual growth and development for him is like the top priority. That was you. Nod your head yes if that was you, Hayden. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I got that right. And maybe you guys have felt this before in your mental health, physical health, financial health, all of it. But the reality is that no matter what level that you're scaling your business at, if your nervous system isn't regulated, if you don't have tools for that, if your identity isn't clear where you want to grow your business and expand it in the future, or even just developing systems for consistent income and consistent clients coming in, we're going to lose our stability. Understanding, the objective is understanding how you operate mentally, physically, and financially so that you can lead from an abundant capacity and not feel like you're in survival mode all the time trying to catch up. I know a lot of you commented in the chat when Kevin asked, and he said, how long have you felt stuck? So the awareness phase is incredibly important. And when we're inside, we're going to have you guys do a little quiz here in a second. But when we're inside MPFC, the ways that we're supporting you for the awareness phase is we have a really cool quiz that Kevin came up with, very creative, and it's going to help you figure out if you are in the ALI, GN, or ED phase with your business, your mental health, your financial health, and your physical health. And then we have one-on-one onboarding and a 90-day plan. So we believe that success and growth happens best on a quarterly basis. And then we are also doing live education 3 times a week inside of MPFC, along with our office hours. Okay, go to the next one.
All right.
Okay, so this is going to be our little quiz. This takes like more than 5 minutes. So in the interest of saving time, Kevin dropped the link in the chat as well. If you can't scan this with your phone, if you want to click on it. But this is a really cool, and I don't know, Cav, if you want to share a little bit about how you put it together, but it's a quiz that's going to ask you specifically mental health, physical health, and financial health questions. And then it's going to give you a score sheet at the end to help you see in each section where you're at, and then give you a total score at the end. Did I get that right, babe?
Close. So I designed this quiz to take you guys through where you're at from an integration, from an identity level on where you feel anecdotally and emotionally, logically, where you're at mentally, physically, and financially. And as you go through the quiz, it'll take about 5 minutes. So if you want to knock it out now while we're talking, great, but save the link or take a picture of a QR code to scan it later. I would love for you guys to do that, because afterwards the scores are accumulated and you'll be sent an email. And in that email, I'll let you know exactly where you are in the aligned ethos and what steps to take for yourself, just all on your own. Just, hey, take this information and run with it. And if you have questions on it, we're happy to chat with you about what you can do thereafter, because we want you to walk away learning something about yourself today. I think this quiz, and some of you have taken it already. So like thumbs up in the chat if you've taken it already. I know there's a handful of you on here, maybe 4 or 5. If you feel like it gave you some insight as to what I could do today to move myself forward. So I've got a couple of thumbs up. I like it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys this as a tool to use in your day to day. So once you know what needs to be prioritized in using the quiz, the next move is taking ownership. And that's where leading yourself begins. So taking us to the L, which is the lead yourself phase. We went over in the beginning that many entrepreneurs are reactive in their mental health, their physical health, or their business health. So what we want to do here is become proactive. And I want to be really clear that in this ethos, leading yourself does not mean taking action. It's finding mental clarity, personal health rhythms, foundational systems. You're organizing, you're arranging, you're categorizing what goes where. You're not actually doing the shit right now, because by show of hands, who was, yeah, I'm going to lead myself. I'm going to get shit done, right? That's not what we're doing here. What we have to do before we go into that phase is actually understand where we're beginning, what it is that we desire, what it is that we don't want anymore, and then arrange that in a way so now I can strategically systemize that in my life and put ourselves in a position to find success over time, right? This is going to be building schedules, plan habits that protect energy and empower confident decision-making. And it's going to impact your business in a way where here you can stop outsourcing your focus to urgency. Show of hands, does everything feel urgent when you're running a business, especially as a solopreneur? Okay. It's not that big of a deal. Like, things will get done. You're still here and having success in your business. Imagine if you just felt so on top of the world when you showed up for your business every day that you didn't stress about those things. And you're like, oh, I know when I'm going to do this. I know when I'm going to do that. I know when I'm going to do this. Everything's going to be okay. I don't care that I only got 10 likes on that Instagram post because everything's going really well over here. Right. We're going to set you up with some tools inside of MPFC. Well, so I created my Stay Fucking Fit starter course. So that was a mental, physical, emotional recovery based course to help you get clear headed and then start to take action as well. Inside of that course, we're going to have weekly meditation and journal prompts. We'll have office hours for real-time support to really deep dive into what it is that you're going through, how it is you want to arrange these things, help plan with you. We're going to set you up with a monthly planner. You're going to have 24/7, 365 access to our media library as well. So now we're going to do a little exercise, right? And I'm going to cut the time down on this so we can actually get you guys out of here on Monday night in a good amount.
Yappers.
So this is going to help you create clarity and ownership. Maybe some of you have done this exercise with me before, if we worked together or we've had a one-on-one call, but it's really important that you, if you haven't, that you take the time to do this. Okay. So I want you to take out a piece of paper, and on that paper, you could draw a line right down the middle. Okay. And then on one side, you're going to write wants. And on the other side, you're going to write don't wants. Okay. I did not make this up, but this is something that works, that I come back to when I'm stressed and I'm not feeling myself, to really get clear on the direction I'm heading and then how I can arrange it. Okay. So everybody's got their paper and pen set up. I'm going to give you 90 seconds to write down everything that you want and desire in your life, mentally, physically, and financially. Okay?
It's very urgent. Amanda's rubbing her eyes.
Whatever comes to mind. So this is a good practice in not overthinking and paralysis by analysis. If it comes to mind, then that's what's going to be top of mind right now. Typically, I will give you 5 minutes, but I have another exercise after this.
To do this again later with 5 minutes, but yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. 10 seconds. 90 seconds is a long time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you guys have your list. We'll look at it in a second. On the other side of the page, we're going to write everything that we don't want, that you want to dismiss, that you want to get rid of, that you don't want holding you back or anchoring you down or causing you stress, or you don't want to feel a certain way anymore. Whatever it is, mental, physical, and financial, another 90 seconds, everything that you do not want in your life anymore, go. This one might be a little bit more challenging. Three, 2, 1, and you're done. Okay. I want everybody to look through their don't want list for a second. I want you to take your pen. I want you to open it up. I want you to start just crossing off everything on the don't want list. Start crossing it off, scribbling it out. It doesn't exist. It's not in your life. I want you guys to look at each one of those things that you wrote down on the don't want list and decide that it's not going to be a part of your life anymore. And it's going to be really hard. You could get emotional. That's okay. But you're the one who's deciding to do this now. Take a second and cross those things off. Because once you've decided what you're going to release, is now it's time to actually act on what is going to allow you to do the things that you want to do. Your first boundary is those things that you don't want are in your head. Subconsciously, they are with you. But if we can physically cross those off the list, you're one step closer to actually not letting them hold you back anymore. I'm not saying that you're getting rid of them in this very moment, but you're one step closer to making that happen. Because now we can begin to integrate. And integrate is the next part of aligned. And you see, there's a little flywheel here, or we can build consistent processes and the things that we want to do in our life. We can find a little bit more of that personal peace. We can build a steady income, have steady health, be more positive throughout the course of our day, not be as urgent all the time in the sense of reactionary urgency. And we can automate some of these systems. So this is where we get to take action. As we integrate these habits, we start to apply these systems to our day to day, right? We're going to build habits that hold under pressure, where awareness meets execution. And this is going to impact your business because now your systems start working for you. Okay. We've actually partnered with a different company that specializes in system building if they get to that point. So you can actually put everything in order on the back end if it comes to your business, or if you have systems for your day to day, whether it be starting a morning routine or ritual, or you'd be surprised how many entrepreneurs I talk to that don't know how to use a Google Calendar. I live by my calendar, and there are different things like we can help you with along the way that you might think are so simple, but you're not applying them. So we want to have consistency for our health, our mindset, and our business along the way. So we've created tools for this as well. Many challenges. You'll get a workout program just because I continue to write workouts and it's part of one of my little passions. So you'll have access to that. So you don't have to think about that anymore. If you guys don't know, I found a passion for building out GPTs to be more human And I've created 2 amazing GPTs that some of you have gone through with me in a call structure, or you've used it on your own. So I've created a GEM GPT for health, grocery eating out, and macro strategist. So you never have to track food or buy a tracking app ever again. And it's 100% accurate to allow you to reach your goals. I've had nothing but seller feedback. And I built the Talk Human Media GPT. Talk Human Media is my communication psychology project, where I want to help individuals actually understand how to communicate with their clients on a level that they understand. So when you do speak to them, they're like, oh my God, how do you know what's exactly going on in my head right now? Right. So you'll get those. We have KPI and budget trackers. We'll continue with the aligned calls, the office hours, and the replay library.
Also, THM GPT is amazing for creating content. That's what most people are using it for, that Kevin's been giving it to, and he's had great results with that. So if you have a block with content, that's a huge asset.
So one more little activity here, and you're going to go off of your want list. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is look at your want list and circle the top 3 things that stand out to you. They will stand out to you. Just circle them for now, because that is where you're going to begin. Because somewhere inside of you, you feel that's exactly what needs to get done next. It doesn't mean that the other things aren't important. It just shortens the list. So this action integration phase becomes a little bit more doable. And as we start to cross things off the list, then we can go down the want list to apply the other things as well. You might see that there's a theme. Okay, I'm leaning more towards the mental side. Oh, I'm leaning more towards the business side. Oh, I'm leaning more towards the physical side. That's okay. That's where you're at right now. It doesn't mean we can't focus on the other things, but it would benefit you to make this a priority. So now we're going to create a list. And you're going to write down, I'm going to give you another 90 seconds for today, but you continue with this list after, because this part does take a little bit longer. Everything you think you need to do to reach those goals. Okay. What can you do right now? What's going to take time? What do you need support with? What don't you want to do? I'm sure there are some things that are like, I want to reach this goal, but there's no chance in hell that I want to do this thing. So, okay, write that down. What moves you forward the fastest? And what might move you forward a little bit more slowly? This integration phase is for you to understand where you're at and how you can start to apply action instead of overthinking all the things you can do, because writing it down is half the battle. Kindle's law. If you don't know, if you have a problem, and you don't know the answer, write down the problem, and you've solved half of the problem. Okay. Give you guys 1 more minute to write some things down, and then we'll shift into the build phase. It goes a little bit faster now. There's no exercises anymore. Give you guys 10 seconds. And I want to know before we move on, is this helpful? Thumbs up in the chat, thumbs up on the screen. You guys ever done anything like this before? Yeah, more or less, maybe not a while. Okay. The goal here is to say, okay, if I can start to arrange, and if I can become aware, right? Just take the quiz, that will really help you go back to these, and then go into how do I lead myself by organization, and then go into integration. You can act like cross yourself out. You don't want it anymore. You can feel that release. You can feel you leaning more towards the desire and the want side. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Hayden. So I'll let you take it away, babe.
Okay, babe. Thanks. Through the process, by the time you've entered into the GN phase of your aligned journey, you're starting to feel more rock solid. You know exactly what you want to be focusing on. You know what your goals are. You've identified your blocks and you're working through them. And you're learning more than you ever have at this point about running a successful business and a successful life. You have a new community of people that are cheering you on, and you're ready to stretch your capacity and double down on what you want to multiply your business success. Next page, babe. So the growth, you can,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, just skip through. We'll go to the growth page. In the growth phase, we're talking about scaling fearlessly and creating big, bold visibility. So we're talking about scaling your income, visibility in your business on social media, talking to your clients, making yourself available so that they can find you and see you. And we have structure that we're confident is going to hold it all up, everything that we've been working for in the ALI phase. We're talking about serious systemization, thinking funnels, marketing, financial structures, things like investing, reinvesting, legacy, longevity, outsourcing tools, things like that. But we don't want it to feel like a grind or a burnout because you have designed it perfectly for your lifestyle and your needs. So the way that we're designing predictable income and repeatable results is through building systems mapping inside of your business. So what type of business mapping do you need in order to move forward? You'll have a unique financial needs analysis and ongoing support from me, your financial advisor. And then, of course, we're doing continued aligned ethos calls. And Kevin and I also have a direct sales coaching business because we are in a direct sales peptide company. So we offer that as another line of income for anybody who's interested in it. So that's included. So most people, and maybe you feel like this, are chasing growth through the pressure of success. So we were talking about that earlier, urgency, right? We're always putting this pressure on ourselves to grow bigger. We're learning to attract it through being very precise about what we want, what we're trying to scale to, who we're trying to attract. And in the process, we're expanding our nervous system, not letting it collapse. And that's the true alignment work. So nurturing. Think about, I like, Kevin's gonna laugh at me because I like an analogy for this with music, and I'm not the music person. Kevin is the music person. But when he made these slides and he put rhythm on there, and my immediate thought is think of your very favorite song, every beat, every single note. And every time you listen to it, you get this very specific feeling. You're moved by it. It's emotional experience. That's literally how you should feel in your business. It shouldn't be this constant battle of, okay, who am I trying to serve? Okay, I have to make sure my messaging is right. I'm pushing and pulling yourself back and forth. And even in the moments when shit starts flying in your business, because it's always going to fly, but you will feel so regulated and so connected to your method and your mission that you are so firm in your boundaries and in your intentions that money just constantly is coming in. You're sticking to your healthy habits and you're more magnetic than you've ever been. We do this through tools and support and accountability pods. So we have this like fun mini cohorts idea, in-depth challenges. So long-term challenges. I know we're running close to time, but there's this really cool thing that I'm doing right now. That's like a journaling book project and it's 100 days long. And I'm halfway through it. Jess is doing it too. Jess, if you're still on here, and it is literally like changing my brain in the way that I view my life. So some things like that. Community support threads, of course, always community. And then we have a large network of guest speakers and industry leaders that we want to give you guys access to.
So eventually you'll get to this expand phase. So growth gets you noticed and nurturing makes it last. And this evolution is learning how to lead your vision like a true CEO of your business. And that comes from scaling, not just your business, but your life and who you are as an individual. So from doing to directing, we're going to reflect, refine. We're going to build this next chapter. We're going to level up over time and be okay with the time that it takes to get there. Because when you do get there, you're going to want to be prepared for it. So the next stage in the ED section, this expansion phase, is evaluate, right? So what we need to do here is look back. What went well? What didn't go well? Has anybody done something in their business where I made a really bad mistake and that ruined you for a moment, right? Or in life when you're going through, like someone says something to you that makes you think a certain thought and then that thought spirals into my world is falling apart. I've been there before too. Or physically, if you are not in the right place, does the simplest off day or off weekend or one too many drinks ruin your workout life and your nutrition life for the next month, right? We need to go back and not beat ourselves up over those moments. But I always say we need patience, gratitude, and grace. And then this evaluation stage is a really good time to apply patience in the process to see what went well, what didn't go well. What are we grateful for and how we got here? And then grace, how are we able to not beat ourselves up for the smallest moments so we can continue to move forward? Thanks, Hayden. I will shoot you the rest of the replay tomorrow, brother. That's right. So the objective here is to audit what worked and what didn't work, and then learn how to optimize so we can move forward, right? The business impact is you evolve with intention instead of chaos. Each review becomes a catalyst for smarter execution. So inside, we're going to do quarterly and annual reviews, planning sessions, provide documentation so you can strategically understand where you are along the way. We will have optional one-on-one deep dives into neuro coaching, talk human media coaching, and psychology and communication, or physical. Your magic plan is what I call it, for physical fitness, nutrition, and recovery. And then there's going to be a self-evaluation checking compass along the way so you can ensure that you're doing well in all of these areas as you start to grow in your business. So when you understand the patterns, you become unstoppable. And this reflection, this evaluation, it gives you control and it gives you direction. And then finally, we get to develop in direction, right? So the focus here is vision casting, leadership, evolution, and leaving your legacy. Why do you guys want to do this? Is it, and then whatever your reason is, that you have to lean into that and understand that is the driving force and factor to have that vision of where it is that you want to go. But before we get there, we need to take all the steps in the aligned ethos so that we can be really clear on that, so that by the time we do get here, we don't experience that burnout to have to go start from the beginning again. The goal is to level up here, that we can eventually get back to the beginning and become aware of how much we have progressed and then begin that process all over again, time and time again. So you can create the life and business that scale together. You're no longer reacting to the growth, you're directing it, and you're in control of steering the ship. So again, with direction and we're planning strategy call, we'll be involved, aligned restart plans. So how can we start the process all over again, continue to level up? And then we'd love to have people commit and lead inside the community as well. So at this point, Align is no longer a theory, it's your operating system, right? The partner path is where that system becomes your business model. Not only embody the work, you help others build through it with us, Lacey and I, side by side. So now that you've heard and absorbed our aligned ethos, tell us real quick, what's been your aha moment? Who's got one? Who's had an aha moment in the last 55 minutes? We started 5 minutes late.
And also, have you ever thought about your business like this, or your business and your life running alongside each other in an organized, expansive way versus one or the other? I'm successful in business, so I can't have a personal life, or I'm too busy, I can't make it to the gym today or keep up with my healthy habits, things like that.
You guys just put thumbs if you felt it, but don't want to share it. That's okay too. So the kind of those people yet. So what we've designed for the aligned ethos is called the partner path. All right. And I believe, and Lacey believes, it's the only aligned ecosystem that guides you internally and externally for your operating systems for all parts of your life. This is a 12-month partnership for entrepreneurs who are done chasing misaligned ideas of success and who are ready to build sustainably across mind, body, and bank. So what's inside? Just so we can recap, we said it all through the aligned ethos, but you're getting a lot inside of Partner Path, right? You're getting 12 months of full access to the Partner Path and the MPF Collective, which is the group itself, the community, the structure, the like-minded individuals. Three times a week, weekly calls that are focused on the aligned ethos in the different sections based on our lessons, but your business. 2 times a week, office hours. So that means there are calls every single day. You haven't put that together. There's calls every single day for you to get on. And we understand you don't have to get on them all because you see that there's call recordings on another one of these numbers, but we'll have weekly direct sales coaching calls. You're going to get a personal financial needs analysis for investing for your future. And if you haven't done one of those yet and you are a business owner, it would benefit you to do. Okay. We're going to get the GEM GPT, which is a grocery eating out macro strategist, the THM GPT, which is my talk human media messaging, content, and coaching strategist. All of my cross-building workouts, there's 3 different tracks on there. You're going to get weekly meditations and journal prompts, quarterly challenges for personal growth and business. You're going to get the SFF's Kickstarter course and the other courses that we add into the MPFC along the way, 24/7, 365 call recordings. You're going to get the MPFC Mastery Manual, which is the digital planner, the affiliate links, software resources, and tools. And you're going to get a welcoming one-on-one on onboarding and ongoing mentorship. So after reflecting on the support, guidance, structure, community, MPFC as a whole, speaking with different individuals along the way, we valued this at $12,887 for the year. Okay. $1 million. You just wanted to say that, didn't you? But since you're here and we're doing this because we know we can do this really well, and you guys are the first to ever do this, being founding members, as yours for $2,700 for 12 months. And I know hands down that there are a lot of other coaches out there that charge a lot more money or a lot less money, but this is what we valued it at for you guys right now. And that link is a QR code. But before you click on it, I want to let you guys know that we're not done. Okay. There's more. We're going to give you some gifts. So when you decide to walk the partner path as a founding member, which is for the first 30 people, actually 28 people, because 2 people bought it before this call started. They just wanted it in. So congratulations to you guys. You get this as well. Okay. You're going to get 5 additional one-on-one calls throughout the course of the year to deep dive into anything and everything that you want to for your mental, physical, and financial health with Lacey and or myself. Pretty cool, I think. So you guys can have all that one-on-one time. And the other thing is that if you have a partner, a spouse, a business partner, someone you want to do this with, right? The reason why we're doing this is we're going to give that person and you the additional membership for only $600 more instead of another $2,700 more. Because while you may run the business together, you are 2 different individuals. And we believe that you guys deserve to walk your own path and then in congruency, be able to understand how to work with one another. And we think that the $6,000 in savings for the one-on-one calls, the $2,100 in savings for your partner to be as invested into the business as you is priceless. Okay. So it's an $18,887 value. I think I messed up the math there. I think it's $100 more. It's still only $2,700 for 12 months. Joey thinks it's a good deal. And one of you who does sign up within the next week is going to get it all for free. But we're not big on just giving it to you for free. We need to see your commitment and we'll refund you the $2,700 so that you can take part in the action. So with that in mind, I left the QR code up there. I'll put the link in the chat because some of you are on your phones, but I want to say welcome to the founding membership of Partner Path. I want to say thank you guys for being on here for this hour plus.
We ran over. We knew we would. One of our founding members is on the call anyway. She already has her first onboarding call booked for this week too. She's on it. We're excited. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, look at that. We know you were here for our workshop and we hope that we provided some value, but I think we were clear about sharing Partner Path with you too. So if you have any specific questions, we know we ran over. You guys know us personally. You can DM us or text us as well. But if you want to drop anything or unmute yourself, we can spend 2 minutes or so answering.
Yeah,
and then you guys are going to get the replay in your email tomorrow if we want to rewatch it. And then of course, always there will be links for you to enroll there. So it's not like this is the only option. Do you want to talk about the timeline, Cab, real quick?
Yeah. So the bonus is after the first now 28 remaining memberships are gone and they're gone. And then it will just go to the $2,700 without the bonuses for the Partner Path. And then with that in mind, I believe that they will be gone within the week because there's 30 more people that didn't show up with a call that are doing things tonight. However, we are going to onboard people starting in December. And then January is when we're going to begin and open doors to the MPFC. That's how we're going to make this happen. So we understand that Thanksgiving is coming. The holidays are coming. You guys haven't seen Amanda's story. She's really excited about Christmas. Me too. We're excited. We're being in New York for Christmas. But we guys have a lot of things going on. Our goal, as you could tell, is not to throw more stressors, but give you an hour of our time to onboard you appropriately so that you can start to become aware, lead yourself, organize, and then take action going into January when we open the doors for all of the live calls. So that's the timeline that we have right now. The social media GPC will absolutely help you with podcasting, like ideating, arranging, organization, outlining of your podcast for sure. No doubt about it. So there, you'd have to use Klarna or Affirm or Cash App on the payment plan options. And since those are a pain in the ass sometimes, just DM me and I'll figure it out. Totally fine. No questions at all. Are we that good? I don't believe we're that good. All right.
All right, cool.
We got one more. What would you say to those who maybe slightly nervous start outreach on social media? Here, when you say outreach, are you talking about cold outreach? Like just starting to DM people? Like, can you explain that a little bit more? You can unmute yourself. You guys can totally unmute yourselves and just talk.
Like I think you and I had a conversation last week about it, but just putting your face and name and story out there, just being raw, vulnerable, and honest with the community that you currently have in hopes that not only will it reach your community, but maybe others that you can then pull into your community. So any advice on starting from ground zero with that?
Yeah. If we go through the aligned ethos and we really get aware of who it is we are, what it is we want to do, and start to organize how we want to go about doing that, we can then come up with an action list to allow that process to be applied a little bit more easily. Now, I think that for someone who's doing this for the first time, because I remember how it was, and if you guys never heard that when I posted my first story on Instagram, when stories were a thing, I walked 4 or 5 blocks from my apartment to the gym at 5 a.m. So there was like nobody on the street, and I was just being lit by streetlights. And it took me the entire time to record my first story because I was so fucking nervous to put that out there. And then I walked into the gym and I didn't even put it up. Right. And now you guys just see me talk in circles on Instagram all the time. So like it takes time. But what helped me do that was imagine that I was talking to the one person that needs my help, because every other person doesn't fucking matter. And that is something that I want you to hold on to, let sink in, because the reason why you're posting is to help somebody, regardless if you sell a product or a service or an education platform, a collective like we do. You're sharing this for a reason, because you believe you have something within you to help change one other person's life. And you'll be
some
surprised.
visibility blocks too. I was going to say, yeah, keep me in your pocket. We'll definitely, inside of the mindset work that we'll do in the calls and on your onboarding and things like that, we will talk about visibility blocks, where that comes from, what type of social media content you should be creating, who you're trying to reach, all of those kinds of things, how to introduce yourself to your current social media following. I've had Instagram for 12 years, and I have worked in 5 different industries over 12 years. So I've pivoted a lot, and a lot of people have stayed with me, and some of the people that were on this call too. And we will break down. You're so welcome, Brooke. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we'll talk about all of that, and we're definitely going to help you. And you have your onboarding call in 2 days or 3 days. Don't worry about it. We got you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I got a quick question.
Go for it.
Yeah, so right now, like one of my big goals is to have my wife and I run our business. Right now, she has her own job, like working full time in marketing. So I'm just doing everything. But I do think she'd benefit from the joining this, like just doing the addition to this. Would that be like reasonable, even though she's not like in the business, but like with the goal of coming into the business? Just especially with some of the whole alignment of everything, I think would be
Absolutely. And I think, look, honestly, dude, I think just because remember, it's more than just business, it's mental, physical as well. And I think getting clear on what, even if it's not today, it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months from now, like you can lay that foundation. I was literally talking to my buddy Caleb, who's a chiropractor, about this the other week, and he's spending this year laying down he's got a solid plan. He's laying down an amazing foundation to do something he's wanted to do for a very long time, but he told me about it, and I'm going to help him stay committed to the process. Yeah. So if she comes in and she doesn't have a physical business to run, it doesn't mean that she has to do what everybody else does and try to fake it until you make it and figure it out. But like when I started a business, I got pushed into it because I got furloughed during COVID, but I wish that I had more time to actually articulate how I wanted to go about doing this. And being that both of you are in together and you're in the same home, what that's going to do for your relationship and your family and like how you raise the bar for what our standard is of life is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin, you run a fitness coaching business, right?
Yep.
Okay. So think about all of your clients that come to you and say, my spouse doesn't understand what I'm doing and they don't understand how important this is to me. Imagine her being able to be inside the same community that you are, learning, walking on the same path, and you guys being able to connect and share and reflect. That's Kevin and I's favorite part of being in business together, is being able to share everything that we're excited about all of the education that we're learning, combining forces. Like it's really special. So you guys being on the same path instead of like you learning and having to relay to her is going to be one, more efficient for your business. And number two, just like more exciting to do together.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the biggest thing too, as far as it'll help us both get clear rather than, like you said, relay the message and maybe we're still not.
You're both going to take something different from every experience too, right? Like you're different people. You probably had different life experiences, different education, all of that stuff. Like we're all living a unique individual experience, even if we're taking in the same information. So being able to look at it objectively from your own perspective is really helpful too.
For sure. And then one more question, if that's okay, is with those 5 calls too that are added, they also get those, or we do those together? Like how
They get their own too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
That's
100%. No, you guys are individual people. And if you choose to want to do one together because you have a project or something you want to discuss, that's why I love group projects and meetings and like being able to facilitate how we can optimize in those settings as well. So there are options there. But yeah, she would get the calls too.
Awesome. Right on. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now we get the questions rolling. Come on, gang. Only 5 o'clock in California. Right. I appreciate you guys showing up. I really do. I hope you were able to take this and apply some of those exercises and go back and look at them. Don't just close the notebook and not really absorb that information because you're the one who put the energy out pen to paper and wrote those things down. Go and take the Align quiz, get the email, get some insight. And we'd love to see you guys join us in January. It would be our honor to be able to help you guys elevate your life, mind, and body moving forward.
Also, this little presentation is like the very top of the iceberg that you can see. There's so much more to expand on. We're really excited about it. These are just little things that we can do in an hour and 20-minute time block. There's so much more to discover and uncover. And we're really excited for you guys if you want to be here.
Awesome. I'll let you guys go. Have an amazing rest of your night. We'll see everybody real soon. Thank you. Needs the world.